Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistron coming to you with another lab in our Cisco Cyber Ops Associate program. Okay, so now I want to demonstrate another lab. In this particular lab, we'll be dealing with 4.2.7 lab, getting familiar with the Linux shell. So what I'm going to do is basically use this VM to be able to go in here and demonstrate some basic Cisco commands. Okay, we're going to learn a little bit about Cisco. So I just want you to be able to follow and be able to do these commands. Now, remember, in doing this, we're going to be working in the Linux platform. It's two different platforms you work in when you're working inside of operating systems, especially desktop. We deal with the Linux and we deal with the Microsoft. So this here is showing you a little bit about the Microsoft. Remember in the last lab, we did the CLI. So now we're going to work with the Linux command. So let's go ahead and now start doing it. You see the setup here, a workstation and an internal connection. In this particular workstation, you can see I'm already signed in, and here is the Linux command here. If you wanted to get to that, when you come to the desktop, you just simply click on this right here, and it'll take you to that terminal. As you can see, I have two of them open up here now. I can go ahead and just close any one of them if I chose to close them, but right now I'm gonna leave them open. Give you a brief synopsis of what we're doing. Let's just get a brief synopsis of what we're working on right here. So it says here, in this lab, you will use the Linux command line to manage files and folders, as well as perform some basic administrative tests. That's it. Nothing hard, just giving you a few commands to work with. And in these commands, you're going to deal with the shell basics, well, the Linux shell, and you're going to deal with copying, deleting, and moving files. Remember, the shell is the term used referred to the command interpreter in Linux. All operating systems have a shell, but the Linux shell is a powerful interpreter. Sometimes you hear us call it the terminal, command line, and command prompt. But remember, it's very powerful, and it helps you execute your commands. So let's go ahead in here and begin our work. With that being said, we logged in already. We know how to get to the command prompt. I'm gonna give you your first command. Your first command is just gonna be basically this: M-A-N, M-A-N. That there is called man. Now, we use the term man generically when we talking to each other. We say, hey, use the man command and find out what command we need to do, or what do this command. As you can see briefly, it gives you the name, man, and then a definition of it. Then it gives you the synopsis, ways you can use it, and then it gives you a whole lot of information about that particular command. And that's what we're going to do. Now, if you want to get out of it, all you have to do is hit the Q command, and that'll take you out of it. Just to break it down and give it to you in a more basic sense, every program has a manual that you read to be able to do or use the program. The man command allows you to go look at a manual on all the commands in Linux. So now we cleared that hurdle. We know what the man command is. And we know how to get out of that page too by hitting the Q. But what if you wanted to see what the copy command? So you can go in here, say man and CP. CP represent copy. And you see what happened right there. It just gave me a wrong because I typed in the wrong information. You can see we make mistakes like that. So I'm going to do it the right way. Now, it tells me CP represent copy files and directories, and it gives me the way on how to use that particular command. And it's multiple ways to use it, okay? Now, it says, what command would you use to find out more information about the PWD command? what is the function of the PWE command. So if I wanted to, I'm going to hit Q right quick to come out. But let's say I wanted to know what PWD command, what was it all about, how do they use it, etc., etc., etc. So I type in man again, and then I go PWD. Hit enter. There it is. PWD, print name of current working directory. That's what that command does. So you get the idea. You understand that you simply use the man or the manual to find out about the commands that you will use in Linux. That's it. It's nothing special about that. Now, I know you may be thinking, wow, you mean, yeah, you can go in here and learn about the entire Linux commands, all of the commands, and then learn how to use these commands. So remember that. Once you put Linux on your computer, you got your own manual to work with. Now, let's go into something else. Let's create and change directories. This is 3 different commands that I will be using in just a second. You see these commands right here? Change directory, make directory, list directory. That's 3 commands. So as of now, you have approximately under your belt, and just in this little section, you have quite a few commands. You got the man command, you got the CP command, you got the PWD command. Now you finna use the change directory command. So what if I typed in just PWD by itself? It shows me what? The directory, the path. Sometimes you hear people calling it the path. Sometimes you hear people calling it directory. But it shows me that path. So a directory is another way for folders to see what type of folder structure you have. The terms directory and folders are used interchangeable. In Linux, I want you to remember that. When they say folders, they mean directories. When they say directories, they mean folders. Now, some of you Windows people wouldn't quite understand that, but I need you to understand in Linux, that's what we do. Now, the next thing we want to do is go down here and navigate to the /home/analyst directory if it is not your current directory. So I want to go in here and I want to just basically say cd /home/analyst and see what happened. See, nothing happened because that is my current directory. So I'm good. Now, I want to see what files I have on that directory. So what do the CD means? So if I type in man, let's do that again, man, CD, this is what would happen. It will tell me CD, change the working directory. So you can always check on your directories and start out by doing that. When you first learn in Linux, start out by just checking on these commands. That way you will be in a safe zone because you will know what these commands mean. And yeah, sometimes you'll want to copy the information for yourself. But here we go. Now we're finna list the directory. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm finna list it. So now I'm inside of this directory here, or this path, and I see the folders in there. And if I want to know exactly what do ls mean, I just simply check it. ls, list directory contents. So you get the idea. You see that this is really simple and easy to be able to understand. Some people be like, Linux is hard. Linux is hard. No, Linux is just one of them operating systems that you have to take your time with. Now, let's go and make a directory. So I'm going to do the man first. I'm going to say man. Okay, mkdir. That's showing me what? Make directory. mk directory, make directories. Okay, I'm just showing you this so you know you can read the information up on it. And now I want to make me a few directories. So I'm going to make a directory mkdir, and I'm going to go CYOPS underscore, and I'm going to say FOLDER1. Hit enter. But I'm going to bring that back up, and I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to put 2. Hit enter. Bring that back up. I'm going to backspace and hit 3 and hit enter. Now, what do you think I just did? Of course, I made directories. So let's go ahead, and I just wanted to show you I can backspace all day and be able to see. So I'm gonna come here to list directory, hit enter. Now you see this is what I originally had. Now you can see that I added 3 folders or 3 extra directories on there. So you see how easy it is to learn Linux. And yes, I can put files inside of them folders too. This is magnificent. That's what makes Linux so powerful. I like to tell people I use Linux like this. Linux is like driving a manual car. What do I mean by that? You have an automatic car and you have a manual car. Automatic, you get in, you turn the key, the car starts moving. All you got to do is put your feet on the gas and you can drive. But with a manual car, you have to think through the process. But you will get to the point driving that manual where you can actually do it without having to think. You got a stick, you shift left, you shift right, you shift in reverse. You use that stick to move the car. And that's what Linux is. It allows you to have power over the car. Now, I want to copy a directory into a folder or to copy files into a folder. So it says here, type the cd command at the command prompt and hit enter. So let's do that. Let's copy something. cd space / home / analyst / CYOPS. And then I'm going to underscore because I want to use that same folder I created. And I'm going to hit 3. Okay. Did I type it right? I typed it right. Okay. Put a 3 on there. Hit enter. Now, look at where I'm at. I changed directory. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go inside of this directory. Now, inside of that directory, I want to put some files in there. I want to drop some files inside of that directory. And I want to point out to you that this is easy. It's not hard. You just have to be patient. And that's the main thing that people don't understand is being patient. And you can learn Linux. Okay, say I'm running out of time, but I'll be through in a few minutes. So you get the idea. We just created folders. We just move things around, and it's multiple things you can learn here. And I just wanted to show you briefly how you can use this. Take a minute to look at this. So I'm inside of a folder, and I'm going to go ahead and say mkdir and space CYOPS. Okay, I'm going to do an underscore. And I'm going to say folder. I'm going to name this 4. Hit enter. Now, if I want to check it, list. That is the only folder that's in there. So I put a folder or a file inside of a folder. So I just wanted to show you briefly how we do this and give you a brief understanding of how easy Linux is to learn. This is Professor Sistrunk signing off.